G'day folks, and welcome to Robbie's first river roundup for 2015. I hope you all had a fantastic new year and a very good Christmas too. This is the first one I've done for a few weeks. This is for Friday the 9th of January 2015, proudly brought to you as always by Adventure Camping and Fishing and Firearms at 14 Rowan Street, Wangaratta. Well, the rivers are looking fantastic. I don't think we've had any rain since my last river roundup nearly 3 weeks ago. The rivers are very low. The Ovens and the King are really low and they're quite dark. The lowness comes from the fact that we haven't had much rain. The darkness comes from the fact that because they're low in oxygen as well, because there's not a lot of water breaking along on the surface, and the pools are a lot stiller, the water gets darker, a few gum leaves come in, and it's quite natural. It's very natural in fact. This morning I was up at Albury. I had to go up there to a doctor with my father. Saw a big bolt of lightning at the corner of my eye. Just distracted me a little bit. As I was going to say before I nearly got hit by lightning. This morning I had to go to Albury, and while I was there I had a look at the Murray River. It's really high, it's clear, it looks bloody beautiful. The only thing it doesn't look is natural. It doesn't look natural to me. It should be low and warm and off colour, not high and cool and clear, but they're still catching a lot of fish there in those conditions, just like we're still catching a lot of fish in these conditions here. I was fishing in a trout stream yesterday up near Bright, and it was two streams actually. They were both very, very low. One of them was barely even flowing, but I did see trout in both streams. They were sulking at the bottoms of their holes. Had one hit my lure, and that was about it. The rest of them, just a couple followed, the rest just took off under the rocks because the water's too warm. They like the cooler weather. Now, we've got a lot of rain on the horizon. Now, when I say there's rain on the horizon, have a look at this. That sky is as black as a dog's guts at midnight on a full moon, and the dog's underground. Have a look at it. On the camera it's probably not looking all that dark because the camera is probably taking a light reading off me, which is overexposing the sky. But in actual fact the sky is very, very dark. I've seen lightning out the corner of my eye and I can hear the thunder. It's about to bucket down. What that will mean, well, it's hard to say what will mean because we don't know how much rain we're going to get. If we get a little bit of rain, it won't make much difference to what we've already got with low warm water. If we get a lot of rain, and they are forecasting significant rain, if we get that significant rain, what will happen? The trout streams will have an increased flow. There will be lots of fresh water coming down. The trout that have been sitting at the bottoms of these little streams, sulking and not feeding very much, will get very, very active, and they'll be quite easy to catch because they will be on an absolute feeding frenzy. But if we get that much rain, the lower reaches of the rivers will be quite high and quite off colour, and they'll slow down. So for the last few months the last couple of months, we've had great fishing in the low reaches of the Kiwa, the Broken, the Ovens, the King, the Midamitta. They've all been fishing really good, but the upper reaches where the trout are have been quite slow. A decent deluge of rain now can just throw everything completely the opposite, and we could have slow conditions down here for a while and great trout fishing. If we do get this rain and the streams do come up and the trout go on a feeding frenzy, they'll be great fun, but they'll be skinny. You might catch a nice big 50cm trout, but I can nearly guarantee it will be underweight unless you get it out of a stream that's carrying a lot of water now before the rain, and there's not very many of them around. So at the moment all the streams are looking really good. The creeks, the rivers, they're all looking really good. The upland sections are really low, but the rain can change it. Everything is subject to change. It's hard for me to give you a definitive forecast on what the conditions are going to be like for this weekend because at the moment it's Thursday afternoon and everything is just banked up on the sky and what that can deliver. And in all honesty, I hope it delivers an absolute deluge because I'd love to see those trout go and put on some condition. The streams that the trout are in that I found yesterday are probably only a few weeks away from drying up and stopping flowing. So if we can get good rain now, that'll keep them flowing hopefully for the rest of the summer, and then they'll spawn in the autumn. So here's hoping for some good rain. Bloody flies are driving me mad. And I'll tell you a story. I took my dad to Albury this morning. On the way up I stopped and got petrol. And when I was getting petrol, I spilt petrol all over my arm of my car, my arm, sorry. On the way to Albury, Dad had a smoke. He's flicked his cigarette butt out my window because I was the only one with my window down. The wind's blown the smoke butt back in, that's hit my arm, and my whole arm caught fire. And I tell you what, it was the scariest thing, but strangely enough, the skin didn't burn. It was just the fumes and the vapours from the petrol that burnt. So I've wound down the window, I've stuck my arm out the window at 100 kilometres an hour thinking the wind would blow it out. All it did was flare it up. The bloody police actually saw me driving along with my arm out the window on fire, and they pulled me over and they booked me. Can you believe that? You know why they booked me? They said I had an unregistered firearm. Talking about firearms, adventure camping and fishing have got the best range of firearms in northeast Victoria and all other hunting needs. Okay, until next week, have a great week. Keep your eye on the sky. If we get a lot of rain, head for the hills and chase a trout.